Hello everyone! In my previous tutorial on interfaces and collections, you learned some basic information about interfaces. In this tutorial, I will try to further that knowledge. We learned that an interface is basically considered a contract for the classes that implement it. Interfaces can contain constants, method signatures, default methods, and static methods. We have already learned about constants, which are variables declared using the final keyword, and method signatures, which include the method name, return type, and parameters with no body statements. In this tutorial, we will learn about default methods and static methods. I will also show you code examples on how to implement an interface, how to test two strings for equality, and introduce a Java utility class that I haven't mentioned before called Scanner. I have two files. The first one is my Hello World class. Here we see that our Hello World class implements interface example. You use the implements keyword when you want to use an interface. My second file is called interfaceexample.java. Here we have declared an interface by typing public interface example. A little background about inheritance. A class can only extend one other class. Remember, extends is the Java keyword that you use when you want to declare that your class is inheriting from another class, known as a superclass. However, a class can inherit from multiple interfaces. A default method is a method that allows you to enable new functionality to your interface without breaking the code of classes that are already implementing your interface. To declare a default method, you would use the default keyword at the beginning of the method signature. All methods declared within an interface are public, so you do not need to include the public modifier. You must provide an implementation for default methods, not just a method signature. Within an interface, only default and static methods have an implementation. The other methods are only method signatures, which will be implemented by the classes which implement your interface. You could also add static methods to your interface. If you recall from previous tutorials, the static keyword means that it is associated with the class rather than the object. So you would call it by class name.method name rather than object name.method name. Alright, now let's get to coding. Within the interface example file, let's type a method signature. Void, test method, and within parameters, string A. Remember that we do not need to use the public keyword. Now, since Hello World class is implementing interface example, Hello World must implement the method test method and provide the body statements for that method. We can copy this method and paste it within our Hello World class and add an empty set of curly braces. Make sure to use the public modifier. For this program, we will be accepting user input. To do so, we will use the Java utility class Scanner. Type import java.util.scanner. Before we provide our implementation for test method, let's create a new scanner using a class constructor for scanner that takes an input stream object as a parameter. Within the main method, type scanner equals new scanner, and in the parentheses system.in. Using system.in as the parameter for our scanner object constructor means that you are going to read from the standard input stream of the program. On the next line, type system.out.println, and within the quotations type M for male or F for female, colon, space. This will print a line to the console asking the user to input either M or F. Next, type string input and set that as scanner.next. Here we are declaring a string called input and initializing it to the value returned by scanner.next. The next method of the scanner class returns the input only up until a space. I will show you what this means later on when we run the program. If you want to read the input including and after spaces, then you would use the next line method. On the following line, type scanner.close, and this closes the input stream. Next, create an object of hello world to call our test method. Hello world, my object, and set that to new hello world. On the next line, my object dot test method, and within the parameter input. Now let's go back to our test method. Within the test method, we will create an if-else statement. If a dot equals lowercase f as the parameter, the or operator, and then a dot equals, and on this one we're taking the capital F as a parameter. To see if two strings contain the same value, you must use the equals method of string. So here we are saying if the string that we passed in as a parameter equals lowercase f, or if it equals uppercase F, then print out you are a girl. System.out.println, you are a girl. Now let's add an else if statement. Type else if, and for the test expression type a dot equals, and as the parameter lowercase m, the or operator, and then a dot equals capital M is the parameter. Then system.out.println, you are a guy. And a final else, system.out.println, invalid input. This is for those people who typed something other than what we asked for. Now let's run the program. Type M or F, and you will see your input and the result that came back from the if statement. In my case, F for female, and you are a girl. Now I want to show you what I mentioned earlier about the next method of scanner, only reading up until the space. If I type in F for female, then my method still works because it only read the F. Thank you for watching this tutorial on interfaces, checking strings for equality, and an introduction to the scanner class. Please subscribe to my channel, Bootstrap CSS Girl, for more tutorials, and check out my Java playlist.